everybody, it's story time again. And today I would like to tell you a story about when I was a trainer, how I would teach service to the front desk staff at properties. And we used to do it with using a program which I've heard we've talked about before, was called Known to the Unknown. How do we take something that you know? What is good service? Well, you know what good service is, and you know what bad service is. Every single person in the world knows that. How do we take that knowledge and bring it to your actual work life? So one of the things we would ask our attendees to do was some homework, and that homework was to go out and think about 3 good service experiences that they had in their life. So things that they've done, and this is something you can do yourself, but 3, if you want to pause the video and write down 3 good service experiences that you remember, not things that you've done, things that have been done to you. So when you're at a grocery store, restaurant, gas station, or a car dealer, anywhere you've been where you say, I love that place. I heard so many good stories. So good service examples, and then 3 bad service examples. 3 times where service didn't go the way you wanted, and what happened that made it bad. And then when we actually went through them, we would start with the bad stories. So you can do this at your property. Ask your staff to do that. Why did we start with the bad? Because everybody can remember a bad service experience. Funny how that works. And we would put them all up on the flip chart. And we'd say, oh, okay, there's all the bad service experiences. And then what do we do with that? How do we train staff not to do bad stuff? Well, we all know what the bad stuff is. So those bad stories can be, I was ignored, I was put on hold forever and they never came back to help me. They told me they were going to take care of something, but then they never did. I never heard back from them. Or they just were rude. Don't do those things. That's all we did. There's all those things in the flip chart. You know what? Don't do those. That's what we told them to do. And that's what I tell you to do, is think about it. But, they might see a little bit of themselves in some of the things that they see up there. And somebody might have to wait too long to check in. And they're not acknowledged. And you think, well, what bugs me is I wasn't acknowledged when I was at this place. Anyway, known to the unknown. The next thing we did was we flip charted all the good stories. And there were a lot less good stories. People had a hard time remembering them. You might even have a hard time. Obviously, we're in the service industry, so sometimes they might come to you quicker as a manager because you're looking for those good stories. But the people who are working on the front line, they don't recognize good service as much as we do. It is totally the truth, because the good stories are harder to figure out. Let me tell you 2 stories. I want to share one with you. The first one is from Domino's. One of the people over the time told me a story. I love Domino's. I said, why? Well, I went and I ordered a pepperoni pizza, and they delivered a pineapple pizza to my house. I said, okay, this is the good story, right? I said, yes, because I called Domino's, and when they heard that there was a mistake, they sent me a pepperoni pizza with a liter of Coke for no charge. And I got to keep the pineapple pizza to try if I liked it. And a coupon for my next time that I ordered from Domino's so that I got a discount. And I said, oh, that's awesome. So you love Domino's because of that? I said, yes. The second story is about a lady's wedding day. Now, this story I thought was amazing because she said, my florist showed up on my wedding day, and that morning she said the flowers didn't arrive. There were no flowers for the wedding. And I'm like, well, that's kind of not a good story, is it? She goes, wait, let me tell you more. The florist went out to every Walmart, to grocery stores, any place that she thought she could find flowers, and bought a bunch of flowers, and she made the greatest bouquets, the greatest table arrangements. She put a big arch of flowers in front of that, and we told this whole story. Said, I love that lady. We became good friends, and I recommend her to anybody who's doing a wedding. And wow, that could have been your worst story, right? Where you had no flowers at your wedding. Instead, it turned out to be your best story, and that I'll never forget. And what I found was, as we did this, it wasn't what we expected, but 50% of the people who told us good stories, actually, they started out as bad stories where somebody had to apologize for making a mistake, and then how they fixed it. And they turned them into their favorite stories and their best place that they always go to, the Domino's or the wedding with the florist, and you do this at your property, you're probably going to realize that you have a few of these stories yourself. The funny thing was, is I didn't ask for 3 great stories. I asked for 3 good stories. And people still have a hard time finding out good stories. Why is that? Why is it that we have a hard time remembering good stories? And I'll have to tell you an example. I was thinking of this when I was doing this video, was I had an Uber ride. The Uber driver picked me up. The car was clean, fresh, and nice. He picked me up on time. He took me to the airport. I got to the airport, and it was good. Everything happened the way I expected. But there was something else that happened, and that was that I wouldn't have called it great. How does he turn a good Uber ride into a great Uber ride? Because most time your good stories are totally forgettable. How do we make things memorable? Unfortunately, bad service is memorable. Great service is memorable. Fixing problems is memorable. Good service can be forgettable. So think of it when you have problems at your hotel as an opportunity to turn guests into great ambassadors for your brand, for your hotel, for your property. And how you handle those problems is paramount to your success as if you'd like to be a torchbearer. Torchbearers have problems too. Air conditioners break everywhere. Wi-Fi goes down. Elevators don't work. Or whatever it is, those are major. But little things can happen too. Noise next door. How do you deal with that problem? How do you deal with it when somebody's smoking in your home? The guest is complaining about it. How do you deal with those problems? Luckily for you, IHG has tons of resources, training, and tools available in a problem handling toolkit. If you haven't seen it, make sure you go in there. I've put a link in this email with the video. If you just are watching the video and you'd like some help with it, give me a call. You know who I am. Of course, if you're out there and you're watching this video for no reason, you're not part of my group, well, you're on your own. I'm just kidding. There's so many tools and resources available. I hope you're taking advantage of them. And that's really the point of my video today, was that please take advantage of those problem handling tools, resources, because it would help you. And then second purpose is if you can do this at your own property, take the known to the unknown. Have a meeting. Tell people to bring 3 good service examples and 3 bad service examples to the meeting. And then flip chart the bad ones and tell them, don't do that. We'll just put them up there, we'll leave them up there. And remember, every time something like that happens at our property, remember, we decided not to do that. The second thing is talk about those good experiences and how can we emulate that, the things that you remember. When you go to a restaurant and they remember your name and they take care of you. So that's what I have for you today. I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoy these little videos and little tidbits that I'd like to pass on to you. And that's what I have. Thanks.